Hey,
Hi. Hi. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I knew it was coming, so I'm glad we could talk and just go off game and kind of discuss things and whatever. It's a totally different situation now, so I'm fine and it's a game.
Yeah, it was a game. It was rough. It was
It
rough for
was.
me.
It was rough for me too.
Yeah. I wish that you and I would have had more opportunity to talk to each other kind of at the beginning of the merge, or I didn't get to talk to Alex at all. Um,
Well,
but
well, it's
I don't know
probably
if
good.
things would have been.
It's probably good you didn't. He would have fucked you too. So it is what it is, and
Yeah.
I do apologize how it went down. I got into the game a little bit too much, and I didn't care what the collateral damage is. And you're absolutely right. I wish I could have talked to you prior to this, and maybe the outcome of the game would have been different. Just for a
Yeah.
couple of days at least.
At least, yeah. Um, I know I keep like going over like things that I did wrong, and I like got so in my head about it. I had the night that I left, I also had a secret switch to vote. And
Yeah.
I was so worried about Jake and the rest of the people in my alliance thinking that I was screwing them over by leaving that I
Hmm.
sent him that switch of vote to try to prove my loyalty to him. Like, hey, I'm going to give you
Yeah.
this. And I think it served its purpose. I think it did show that he could trust me. I wasn't trying to like fuck him over. I was like, here, I'm going to give you
Yeah.
this. Use it. If Q doesn't have the idol, then you still at least have my vote.
Yeah.
But I should have cared more about my personal game and not what other people were going to think about decisions I made, because I would have
Hmm.
been good then on my night when I got kicked out, because I would have
Yeah.
used it and she would have been gone on a 5-4.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. She's
Yeah.
the puppet master in there, bro.
Who is?
Q.
She is, but you know what? I've been running data sets and everything to try to figure this out. I've actually been mapping it and plugging in different formulas to see who's going to do it. She's definitely a contender. I knew it was funny because yesterday I knew something was off and I was just fucking around with some stuff and I said, there's a 50% chance that I'm going home today. And Jake was like, "Oh, where'd you get those numbers from?" And I'm just like, I knew I could smell the shit in the room, and I'm just like, oh, and then I found out there, I was off by 12% on what was going on, and I knew they were going to screw me. I just didn't think that quickly, and I'm sure you didn't think the same either.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that the people that I felt like I had in my corner, I think still had my back. But I'm pretty sure Alex and Elizabeth, I wasn't really sure where they stood. And obviously they didn't stand with me.
Oh, did you watch last night? Because Elizabeth sold out Q too. She sold Q out, so it's going to be a very interesting dynamic for Q because it's going to be cold all alone. Because I think if she doesn't do well on these challenges, she's going home within the next couple of days. Then Team Cleaners
Oh,
is going to take it. They're going to clinch it,
yeah.
and I realized that was a very strong possibility that was going to happen.
Yeah. And,
So
Team
kudos to
Cleaner,
Team Cleaners because I think they're going to end up taking it if Q.
I mean, 2 of 4 of us are out though. And I think Jake's still a pretty big target based on, I guess, what I was hearing last night. But Dot also, Dot's a little shady.
Dot would sell his grandmother's kidneys if he knew he could make money off of it and get away with it. He would. And is Jake is the proof that people with less than average IQs can go far in life without having to try too hard. So, he's not
He's the
exactly
20-year-old pretty boy.
yeah, he's a pretty boy, but he's not too smart from what I gathered. So I think he's just rolling with the punches and letting people influence him. And that may be part of his game. He may be rocking a Stephen Hawking's IQ, and this is all part of an act for him. Who knows?
Yeah.
I have to look through the character assignments and see if Slow Boy fakey slow boy is on there, pretty slow boy or whatever, But
Yeah.
my,
He's a poli sci major, so I feel like he is pretty like smart, but maybe more book smart than street smart, you know?
then yes, but we know poli sci will not get you a job when you graduate from college. We both know
Yeah.
that's just something to say. Hey, I'm going to school for business management or something like that, So
Yeah.
kudos to
Yeah.
him. I'm not going to talk shit about them because they're obviously better players than both you and I, but I don't know how I'm going to vote at the end. It's going to purely depend on who left the most sour taste in my mouth, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I know. I said in my last confessional, if Q's there, she's not getting my vote. But I was also, I think, in that moment when I was like answering those questions, I was still really kind of pissed off at the way it went down.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Q, she pulled one over on me, and like kudos to her. But I had talked to her the night before Tribal, and
Mm-hmm.
she was like, let's team up and get the heat off of both of us and try to go after some of these middle players like Patty
Yeah.
or Elizabeth. And I was like, yeah, I'm willing to entertain that conversation. I can't tell you for sure what I'm going to do, but I'm willing to have, another conversation about this and see where you're at. So
Mm-hmm.
she was like, well, will you request me for a chat tomorrow then? I said, sure. So I did, to show her, if I tell you I'm going to do it, I'll do it, and
Mm-hmm.
again, trying to prove that I was some level of a trustworthy player in a game that's all based on fucking each
Mm-hmm.
other over,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But then I screwed myself because nobody asked to talk to me. So I basically wasted a chat on Q that I could have had with you or with Alex or Elizabeth to even try to fix what I had done wrong with Elizabeth, the other tribal night. And I talked to Dot because I requested him too, but nobody requested me. So I'm all pissed off because I'm like, I feel like she knew going in, her people aren't going to. I was left out of every conversation. I had no chance in hell to even try to work something out. And I
Yeah.
wasted a chance that I had on speaking to her about a bunch of bullshit because she lied to me the whole time.
Well, if I could have went into it differently, I would have just played the game and, not drew so much attention to myself. Or I'm sure you would, looking in retrospect, knowing the errors that we made, being a little bit more vocal. And I think that made us the easy targets because,
Yeah.
I've noticed that neither one of us put up with bullshit. And we're old school in the sense that, we thought our loyalty and proving ourselves would be more than enough to at least move us into the finals. And that's not how the modern day group operates. They'll fuck you quicker than anybody else.
Oh yeah, no, they didn't care. I think that was the hardest part was like I feel like I'm playing my game the best that I can, but I'm also really trying to look out for people that I have a relationship with
Yeah.
to make sure that they're good too. And I cared too much about that and not
And
enough about my individual game, and that's what fucked me over. It was 100% my bad,
mine too. And now that I'm talking to you in person out of game, I think that, we thought a little bit more with our hearts and, the tactical thing. And that's what got us smoked.
Yeah,
It,
absolutely. I played way too emotional.
Yeah, me too. And I thought these pseudo bonds, and I've always told myself, and I'd have these discussions with my wife, and I'd be like, there's a 99% chance that I'm not going to have any contact with these people after the game because I know my family's contact information, and I still don't talk to them regularly. So what makes me think, and I should keep this in the forefront when acting in the game, that these people have any fucking loyalty to me,
Right.
there's no chance. There's slim to none chance that we're gonna communicate outside of this. And
Yeah.
I should have thought more about myself instead of trying to build these alliances because it doesn't work. And now they're gonna eat each other, and it's gonna be fun to watch. And I'm actually looking forward to it. They did us a favor. Now we can go back to our lives and still kind of watch from a perch. But you know what? We also have the ability to kind of fuck someone at the end with our votes
Yeah.
because we're on the jury.
Yeah.
So,
I told my husband the same thing. I was like, I don't think that anybody in the game right now is thinking that the people that they're screwing over right now are the ones that are going to have the say on whether or not they win this thing. You
yeah,
know, you need to play it in a way where the people on the jury respect your game, even though you got them out, and respect the way that you did it,
Mhm.
and think that you're a good game player and want to give you that, you know, that W, that title at the end. But I don't think that they're thinking about that at all.
No, I think they think for the moment and they don't think tactically. You know, they're all trying to figure out how to eat each other right now. But if I can repay the favor when it comes to voting time, and I'm sure you feel the same, I'm gonna do it. You know, if it came down to Dot or someone else, I don't think I could vote for Dot.
Yeah.
He's dirty. He's dirty.
Yeah. I'm interested to see when it's all put together, the conversations that were happening, you know, when we weren't there to have those conversations, or when we were in the game. You know, I would really love to see the conversations that Jake was having. Jake was my number one. Jake
Yeah,
and I solidified that day
yeah,
two
yeah,
when we won the first competition and our third person wasn't there. We were
yeah.
the first people to have an opportunity to have a individual chat. And we solidified that in the beginning. So I was never, ever going to turn my back on him. And I was going to try my best to get either me or him as far as we could go. But, you know, the paranoia got the best of me. And Q tried to do it. Q tried to convince me that Jake was pissed off that I used my leave tribal advantage and that he had a hit on
He
my head.
he
And
tried to sell that with me too. He said, you know, she left me hanging, you know, whatever. I'm going to control this vote, you know, and he's like, she left me hanging. So, you know, oof. It's going to be interesting. I seriously, I don't think I'm going to watch any of this when it's all done and edited, because they're going to make us look, they're going to control how we look and how we think from this point on. So
yeah,
it is what it is. I don't think I'm going to end up watching it, mainly because I have no interest probably, but I do have a
yeah,
vested interest to finish this project and at least live up to my obligations with Nick and them guys. But after that, you know, I hope that we have the opportunity to at least pull one over on them at the end.
yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I wish we would have had more opportunity to talk in the game, because I think that you and I could have made a pretty strong duo and just completely trailblazed them all down.
We're,
At
we're
least like common sense wise, I feel like we're probably around the same age. The rest of them are
how
all like,
how old are you?
I'm 35.
I'm 44, so you know I got a few years on you, but you're still at that tail end of when I grew up, and we probably have the same age parents, and
Yeah,
we were raised in similar households, especially with morals and values. I can see that
yeah,
happening.
yeah. But what it is, what it is. I'm glad that we have a chance to kind of talk now outside the game, where it's not, you know, blowing at each other and game talk, and we can just be real people now.
Yeah, and I think we both got sucked up in the moment. And I was telling those guys, I volunteer in the community regularly here, and I help set up community programs on my spare time. Do a lot of volunteer work. So
Yeah.
my life isn't based on fucking other people over.
Oh,
It's actually
I'm a
helping
foster
people.
care social worker. I like give children like permanent forever homes. Like my life is dedicated to like serving other people. Like that's why I said in my last tribal, I didn't want to go into that tribal how I did the one before, because it's not
Yeah,
who I am. I don't talk
yeah,
to people like that. You know, I'm a
yes,
very nice, considerate, empathetic person. I'm not somebody that's going to be like, shut the fuck up, and blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. Like,
I'm a private chef, and I'm also a fish cutter. I do a lot of different things. I've been all over. I do gardening. I make pickled vegetables. I travel all over the world trying new stuff. And, you
yeah,
know, so to be put in that role and have to crack some eggs to make some omelets, obviously that's a kitchen analogy, but, or a metaphor, but, you know, it is what it is. And, you know,
yeah.
I just got too sucked up and I let my emotions and my trust just
Oh,
violate
yeah.
everything.
For sure, me too, especially at the end when I was feeling the pressure
Yeah.
and I knew that I had no game left. There was no way. I was going to have to fight for my life every single time.
Well, take
So
that deep.
I was kind of glad to be done.
Yeah, take that deep breath, enjoy your family time, and you know, I'm doing the same.
Well, we both get to watch Tribal tomorrow. So it's kind of
Perfect.
cool being on the outside and watching them all go at each other. And you just get to sit back with a drink and relax.
Well, I look forward to doing that with you, even though we're not going to have contact. So I sincerely want you to know that I hope you take care of yourself, and I'm glad you're able to spend time with your family from this point on. And let's just
Yeah,
watch.
for sure.
And thank you for this opportunity. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, you too. And we'll talk again before the end, I'm sure.
All right. See you later. Have a
Okay.
good